Hey guys, so I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to do the recessed lighting for your dollhouse just by using foam board and grommets, okay? I've already posted one of these, but I've done this so many times since then that I have a little bit more information to share with you guys. And yeah, so let's get started. So what you'll need to do first and foremost is measure the ceiling of the room that this is going to be going into and cut your foam board to size. I get my foam board for this particular project from Dollar Tree. The next thing that you want to do is measure out your line so that you can create, a pattern. These boxes here are 2 inches apart. Basically, you want to measure out your room. You want to decide how far apart or how close together you want your recessed lights to be. Measure everything out using your ruler, draw your lines, and then you want to start drilling your holes. So I'm using a drill. You can do this. This is the easiest way to do it, but you can do it with whatever you have. This bit here came with the first set of grommets that I bought, and I've just always kept it. And every grommet that I buy is the same size. That way I don't have to do anything different or whatever like that. So I'm going to drill the holes. Now, when you're drilling your holes, ideally you'd like to drill it all the way down and have this piece pop out. But the thing about that is when the piece pops out, it gets stuck in here, okay? I mean, it's not stuck, but you'll have to use something to, just pop it out. And that's like an extra step. So I really don't care to get it completely out, okay? As long as it's mostly done, so then I can take my X-Acto knife and just, cut the little part that is not cut. It's just easier like that. Okay, so now I want to talk about your grommets. So I believe these grommets are 3/5 of an inch, which probably are not to scale. They could probably be slightly smaller, but this is what I've been using. So you can, use whatever you want. So when you get your grommets, they come in 2 pieces, right? The flat piece and then the piece like this, okay? Typically, I take these, and this is the part that I use, okay? And the way that you do this one is you basically stick it in the hole. You stick it in the hole, and that's that. These give you a more clean look, okay? But for each one of these that I also have one of these, okay? And I resisted doing this for quite some time, but one day I wanted to do recessed lighting and I didn't have any of these left. So I just spray painted these and used these. Now, it's not going to look as clean as this, but it's sufficient, okay? It's fine. So for these lights, I'm going to be using this end piece right here because there's no need to just throw these away. Like, it's not that bad to where you can't use them. It's not going to be as clean as this again, but it's not terrible. So that's what I'm going to do for these. Now, for the lights, okay? These are the lights that I have been using. I get them from Amazon. They come in a pack of 4, and it comes with 4 remotes. Now, these are 60. There are 60 lights on this line. I like for my situation to be really bright, so I use a lot of lights. So now I'm going to show you how I put these on here. Now, I have unrolled my lights. You can't see them all, obviously, because it's a long string of lights. So as I said, I want to put 3 bulbs in each one of these holes. So the way that I do that is I do this first before I attach anything to this board. I will gather my 3 lights or 2 lights or 4 lights or however many lights you want to put in each hole. Okay, so that's 3 lights. I just put them all together like this. Then that's it. You want to determine where your battery box, where your lights are going to end at, where you want to think about where you want to hide your battery box. Wherever you want to put your battery box, like say for example, there's a spot over here on a certain side of your room that you can imagine building something that would cover your battery box. Or in my case, I have a place under my house that I'm going to be sliding my battery box into. But you want to think about that. That way, whenever you are putting your lights on here, you have a clear thought about where this will hang off from. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little arrow right here so that I'll know as I'm doing this that I want my last string to end somewhere here so that I can, trail my battery box off this way. All right, now I have wrapped all of my lights together. As you can see, I have 12 holes. I'm using 3 lights per hole, so that would only be 36 lights. As I said before, this is a strand of 60 lights, so that means I have 24 left. And I have a different plan for the remaining, the remainder of the strand of lights. So don't even worry about that, but I'm just going to show you guys how I attach these lights to this. Now, I like to use, what is this? Masking tape, okay? So I'm going to tear off a little bit of tape here, okay? And then I'm going to start where I marked my board to start. So what I normally do is just like bend this down just a little bit. That way I can just put it here like this and it's already bent down into the hole. And I can go ahead and tape that, okay? Okay, so now you want to flip it on back over. Now, when I use these, the ones that go into the hole, I like to put these on first. I like to put these in first before I start stringing the lights on the back. Just because it's just easier. Trust me. Just put these in first, then do your lights. But since I'm using these are just flat. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right here and just put them all down like that. You're just going to add a little bit of glue onto your grommet. Just take a little bit and I just put a little bit here. Don't have to be a lot, just a little. And I'm using Fabri-Tac glue. You can do use whatever you like. I like this glue because it's basically instant. It dries like almost instantly. All right, so putting it onto your ceiling. The best way that I have found to do this is by taking, scrap pieces of this same foam board, cutting it up into pieces, okay, bunch of pieces. There's no certain number of pieces you need. There's no certain size or anything like that. Just cut it up. Okay, I'm just going to glue them down in this formation here. Again, I'm going to use a little Fabri-Tac, but the Aleene's, I think that's what it is. Aleene's tacky glue. This also works well for this, but it just takes longer to dry. But actually, I think that might actually work better than Fabri-Tac. But I haven't had a problem with any ceilings coming down, so either way, it'll be fine. The next step will be applying glue to these sides, and then taking this thing and popping it into the ceiling, and then putting something under it to hold it up while the glue dries. I'll show you that next. All right, so I have applied all of my glue to my little foam board pieces, and now it's time to just pop this on up into the ceiling. Okay. You want to let this dry. Now, if you've used the Eileen's glue, I would like to, whenever I use this glue, I like to let it dry basically overnight or for many, many hours. That way I can ensure that it's dry before I start removing this stuff, and then my ceiling comes down, okay? Now with the Eileen's glue, it's going to be much faster than that, but I still like to leave it on there for a little bit, just to make sure that everything is nice and tight before I remove my supports. All right, so now it's time to remove these supports. And this is the moment of truth because I did not check it before I did all of this. Okay, perfect. And I put it on 8 because that's steady. And here we go. Very nice recessed lights. After I'm done, one thing that you will have to do is cover this. Okay, you'll have to cover this up. So what you can do is a lot of different things you can do. You can use a little piece of wood that you've painted. That is what I did here. Just took some wood because I did the lights in here the same way. Different configuration, but the same idea. Take a piece of wood, cut it to size, and paint it white or whatever your trim color is, and just stick it on there. And that's it. That'll clean it up. That way you don't see any of that. Okay, so that is the easiest way to get it done, and I hope that you guys learned something. And if you do choose to do this and you have an Instagram, tag me because I want to see all of your beautiful projects and the different ways that you use this method of lighting your dollhouse. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace out.